So I was born in Tanzania, East Africa, and I was raised up in a Hindu family. My parents brought me up like teaching me how to worship the Indian gods, and I would always like wake up in the morning, and one thing I would do is just sit and worship. We had these temples where all the gods' pictures would be. You would start worshiping and you would chant these words. I didn't know what it means, but that was the time. But at that time I was in high school, and our high school always, they had religion classes. So I had a friend that was a non-denomination Christian, and she would always invite me to her class. So I would go, and the reason I loved is because they always like approached with love. At that time I just thought Jesus was Christian God. My God is, all this Hindu gods, and Christian had Jesus as their God. So I didn't think it was bad. It was like just another God. So I went, and I would just love their worship. But then one day a pastor was there, and he asked me if I was saved. I didn't know what it meant to be saved. So it was just such a scary moment. I said no, and he asked me if I would like to be saved, and I said yes, because there was no option to say no. So he laid his hands on me and he prayed this prayer, so powerful. And after it was done, I was just crying, because I'm like, what did he give me? I feel like he gave me something. And I was kind of mad at my friend. I said, I don't know what he did to me. I'm never gonna come back. And she's like, how do you feel though? I said, I feel peaceful, but I've never felt like that. This is something different. She gave me a Bible, and I actually refused. I said, no, I'm Hindu, and I'm gonna only worship my gods. And then a year later, my dad was still struggling finding jobs, but he did find a good job in this city. It was like a few hours away. And one time he came to see us. He said, I'm not gonna see you this weekend. I'm gonna be working a lot. So he just came to see us for one day. And then the next day we heard the news that he died in a car accident. And I still I couldn't believe it. It was like big blow, So I was mad at these gods. I said, I served you all my life. I did everything. I was always a nice girl and this and that, because these gods, the way it works is like you have to do things for them in order to gain favor. You have to worship them for certain hours. You have to put flowers, burn incense, and say all these chanting words. So I said I did all these things, and you took my dad, And my dad was nothing but a nice person. So I was just mad, and I stopped. I stopped worshiping and everything I would do daily. So one time there were these missionaries that came to talk to us. They were from Europe, and they were so nice to us. And they asked us if we believed in Jesus, and I said, yeah, I know Jesus, So they invite us over. They would cook dinner for us. They were just so nice, and I was amazed. I said, how nice they are. And one day they showed us the movie Jesus of Nazareth, and I didn't know Jesus. I just thought Jesus was a God. I didn't know about how he died for our sins. And after watching that movie, I was just crying, and I said, no God would do this for his people. I said, none of my gods ever died. All they want is, do this and that, then I will help you. So one day I started reading the magazines. I said, I don't care, I just, let me try. And I came across the prayer of salvation, and I prayed it, and I was still scared. I said, what if something happens? But I said, I'm just gonna pray. And as soon as I prayed, there was instant peace in my heart. I truly just knew that he's the real God. So I moved in with my sister, and we started looking for churches, and then we came to churches, but we still had these idols, this Ganesh idols and other gods that we kept in our houses. We kept their photos as well. We didn't really worship them, but we thought maybe, my mom still said, hey, maybe you should just take him, it's for good luck. So I didn't really understand. But the more I read the Bible, I came across the verses that it says that these idols, they have eyes but cannot see, ears but cannot hear. I said, we don't carry gods. God is, he made us. He's the most high God who made us. Nobody can contain him. And we took all these idols and photos, and we just dumped them in trash can. And it was a relief. It was like stronghold that still was, giving them ground in our house, so that good things won't happen so that God's plan wouldn't come to pass. But God is greater than all this other. And after that, everything was just flowing, and we started learning more about Jesus, and we knew him more and more, and he opened up lots of doors for us. And now that I think about what I used to be, it's like Jesus saved my life. I don't know what I would do without Jesus, and I don't know what I would do if he gave up on me. And he never gave up on me. He kept trying and trying. Even though I rejected him, he still kept trying. God's love is so powerful, and just like that song, your love never fails and it never gives up on me. That song is so real to me. I will always follow him with all my heart, and I know he has a good plans for me.